Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is Winter is Fun. Ooh, almost got me. It's a Winter House podcast, not a Summer House
It's weird because
podcast.
we watch Summer House when it's cold out. So now that it's getting cold, it feels like we're supposed to be
Summer
watching
House
Summer
is
House.
coming. I know. Okay, we are at season 1, episode 5. We're almost to the finale, which is great and sad, all in the same breath, same feeling. But anyway, check us out on the A&M podcast network. We have this podcast, which is usually Summer is Fun. We have It's About the Pasta Vanderpump Rules podcast, and we have One Season Wonders. Also be sure to rate, review, subscribe. I don't believe we have any new reviews, but last week we did have a lovely 5-star review, which we loved. Let me check.
And we did have a shout out on Instagram. We mentioned on the Vanderpump
Oh my God,
podcast.
just kidding. I just reviewed. We have a 1-star review.
Oh, sadness. So
Sad.
mean.
Ready? It's from 12765 Ray. And like I said, it's 1 star and it's titled Kind of Mean. Okay, well, we're not going to be a nice podcast, but whatever. It says, I used to really like the podcast, but lately the girls have been getting a bit nasty to a female cast member. Ooh, which one?
Ooh.
I wonder. Oh, I just think Julia is an extrovert, confident in her skin and outgoing. Oh. No, whatever. The hosts calling her an attention seeker and slutty because she's doing things they would not feel comfortable doing.
I took the slutty comment back. I did take it back.
Yeah. Okay. So every Winter House episode, they have the same criticisms of Julia and it reeks of insecurities. Well, if you listen to our pre-show, you would know that we do have insecurities. So A, fuck you. And B,
I think it's just her personality type. She wants to be the center of attention, and that's okay.
She is extrovert and confident, but she likes attention, and that's okay because some people like attention. And listen, we're looking at it as from Gabby's point of view, it looks bad. Like it would hurt a friend. And that's just because you like to be extroverted and confident doesn't mean you can hurt
that's
your
not the
friends.
problem. Yeah. The problem comes because she had that conversation with Gabby about trying to push Luke and her together. That's my problem, is don't say you're going to do things and then do the opposite.
Yeah. So thanks for your feedback, Meredith. And I apologize.
I think we were harsh.
Comment.
I think we are that was a bad comment. I did not like that when it came out of my mouth.
But I stand when I say I think she likes attention.
Yeah.
And I stand by it looks bad.
I love attention.
But who Meredith doesn't? Looks bad.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so then don't listen, Ray, or whatever. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one really didn't hurt my feelings. You got to really try.
No, I mean, honestly, he had some valid points. I mean, we were being mean, but that's how the edit is.
And I mean, how boring if we just loved everyone.
Dude, yeah.
Don't listen to our Vanderpump one. We hate all of them.
I especially hate a lot of people. So, yep, not the podcast for you.
Okay, so if you actually enjoy our podcast, can you give us a 5-star review? Because all we get are these fucking negative ones. And I'm not.
I'll even take a good
dumb
review
for leaving them, but they're dumb for leaving them.
I'll take a good review on Instagram though too, if you want to share the podcast there instead of.
Yeah. Oh my God, 100%.
Because we had a great a share on Instagram on the stories.
I know you talked about this on the Vanderpump.
I loved it.
It's so nice.
I know we got a few new followers on Instagram because of it.
Oh my God, that's so nice. Aw, Ray can't bring us down. Fuck you. Okay, so then Instagram, follow us at Vanderpasta. I really try. I waited to post all my tweets so that we could look at them today because I do have one poll for everyone.
For everybody, we recorded this late because I was traveling.
That's okay. It happens. Okay, and join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to our pre-shows where Meredith and I catch up, and you get access to any episodes that we record early. Yeah, just check it out for that. Sometimes it's 12 hours, sometimes it's 4 days, sometimes it's 12 months. I don't know. Just figure it out. For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, you get access to our after shows when we go back and watch old seasons, and we will say your name on the podcast. So thank you to Chris, Dustin, Jackie, Kristen, Tracy, Danae, Gina, Kelsey, Mariah, and Zoe.
Woohoo!
Woo! And then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus you get to give us your opinions during live seasons. So we have a ton of opinions actually to get through, plus an opinion we forgot from last week because we got drunk. So I do have that pulled up, Dustin. Okay. Thank you so much. But we will read that at the beginning of the show. And also we pick a patron of the episode. So this week it's got to be Dustin because he left us so much shit.
Oh, I can't wait. So I mean, I just
Dustin has different opinions
about it. I appreciate that's what I want. So Ray, if you have a different opinion, come be a patron and we'll chat about it. Alicia and I just
no need to leave a review.
See a lot of things the same way. So
the same.
We want other opinions. We love to banter about this stuff. That's why we started this podcast, but a lot of times we end up on the same side.
Yes. Okay. So Dustin from last week said, got to give it up to Julia in this episode for pretty much telling Luke to fuck off. I wasn't totally on Gabby's side, but I could see where she was coming from. Glad Jules stepped up as a friend and shut Luke down. Agreed. Jules
crushed that. I love how she handled it. I just wish she didn't use. I wish she would have put herself.
I wish she used her boyfriend. Yeah, I wish she was even like, I have a boyfriend and not so much like not in. Yeah, she blamed it on.
Which maybe she did, and it got cut out. But
yes. And then he said, I don't know who doesn't understand what Lindsay is all about. She goes hard. There ain't no playing around with, there ain't no playing around with. I hope Jason knows what he's getting into. Also, Lindsay has been getting shit on all season, and I really feel for her. If she was there on night one, it'd be her and Austen for sure. But Austen is also a fuckhead, so she kind of dodged a bullet. You know what? Okay. Completely agree.
I don't think it would be her and Austen. I don't think they would have ever dated.
I think they would have hooked up though on night one instead of him and Sierra. I agree with Dustin on that.
I don't think the hot tub moment like that would have happened.
No, but I think because Austen and Sierra kind of, connected on night one and then Lindsay showed up. But I think if Lindsay was there, Austen would have gravitated more towards her on night one. And maybe him and Sierra would have gotten together, but I think it would have been delayed.
Yeah, it just all would have gone down so differently. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think her showing up late is what kind of catapulted all this into like fireworks central. Yes.
Also, listen, Austen does not look good on this season of Winter House. So I agree. Lindsay dodged a bullet, and you do know what she's getting, like what she's putting out there, what she's all about. And I love Jason, and I think he's ready for it.
I love the Jason Lindsay because she's intense and he is all for that. That's her problem is she's picking weak ass guys who like can't handle her. And she shouldn't lower herself like she was doing with Stravy. But I just do think she's very intense very quickly, which can be off-putting when you're just meeting someone.
Agreed. Then he says, also, didn't these people literally meet 5 days ago? They're talking about love and going on dates and shit. Yeah. That's how long until you asked Jackie on a date, though? Let us know.
Okay, I'm just going to compare this to when I was abroad because I think this is kind of a similar situation. The only difference is we had a lot of time and they only have 17 days, but people coupled up very quick. People were like all in because you're in this like such this different setting when you're secluded because I was in a really small town. So it was just us. Things just happen so quick. It's kind of like how on The Bachelor, like these dating shows, when you're in your own world and you're spending so much time with someone, it all can super quick and there are no other options. There's no distractions.
I think a lot of them knew of each other. Like they aren't just like, I think Sierra and Austen may have never met, but I think they know who they are. And like Craig and Paige have met multiple times. And okay. Andrea is really hard to get a read on as well. Like he could totally fall into gross sleazebag territory, but he's weirdly respectable about his fucking around. Was talking to Jackie about it and she agrees. Like someone like James from Vanderpump would totally be bragging about hooking up with all these girls, but Andrea is just like, yes, I love ladies and making them feel good. It's word dichotomy. Still don't get his appeal though, but what do I know? Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
He presents something so nice out there.
And the words
even
he
if
uses
it's like
are so
nice.
different. Like James would be like, I banged them all. Whereas like Andrea is like, I love the ladies, I like to please them.
Yes.
It's the words he is using makes it not as creepy. And the accent.
And last he says it was a good episode. Hopefully everything boils over soon and we get consecutive meltdowns to all these 6-day couples that were formed. Fingers crossed.
We're getting there. It is. We have some large bubbles in this episode, and I think it really is going to boil over next episode.
You know what? I'll talk about this when we get to watch What Happens Live. But Kyle and Amanda kind of talked about like they were like, oh, it was kind of weird, like we all left and things like we saw the outside world again. So they really were like, they didn't say that, but they hinted because obviously they got asked a lot of questions about the couples in the house and they were like, yeah, it like wasn't a thing.
So maybe
like they knew
we will have a reunion because like, I think it's going to be like awkward with this leaving. So I want to know more about what happened when they went home.
Yeah. Okay, and we have more stuff from Kristen and Dustin after the episode. Don't let me forget.
We'll power through this then.
Let's get into this episode. So previously on Winter House, we had champagne showers. Lindsay told Austen she loves him. Oh I'm in love with you.
I'm just going to do that all the time.
Dave, I'm going to fall in love with someone and that's how I want to tell them. Anyway, but she was also super drunk and she's had a rough start, but now she found Jason. Kyle's parents are coming to ski, but Amanda can't ski. Austen is still kind of hung up on Madison, but he's also super into Sierra. Sierra's really scared to be vulnerable with Austen. Paige is flirting with Andrea, but Andrea doesn't know if he's ready to get into a relationship with Paige, probably because like Dustin said, it's a 6-day couple. Andrea took Paige on a date though, and Craig told everyone that Andrea wants to be single. So that caused a lot of issues in the house. And then Lindsay told Paige and now Paige is sad.
If Craig wasn't here, we would never have gotten that. So thank you, Craig.
I know Craig's such a shit. This is Craig from Southern Charm. He just stirs the shit.
I loved watching Craig back. He's just like, hold on, where's the spoon? Let me stir the pot.
I'm so happy he got out of his house. He hung up his phone with Natalie and he fucking stirred some shit and then
leaving
went back.
Some voicemails. Yeah.
So it's Friday. We have 9 days left of vacation, which is insane, which means the last episode's going to be about a week.
I think they just cut a lot of stuff out like towards the end.
Maybe, but this goes till Sunday, I think. So that means there's 7 days left for one episode. And I hope it's all just a big meltdown. And then they have a reunion, or there's no reunion, but I hope. But it's 10:14 p.m. We're still kind of doing the high school party. Everyone's wasted. Lindsay and Jason are making out. And I love this. I want more of it. Paige finds Andrea to talk to him. So Paige tells Andrea that Amanda was crying because Amanda found out that Andrea just wants to be single. Yes. And Andrea says he came here a single guy and he thought he'd be single leaving, but he wants to go back to the city knowing he met a cool chick that he really likes and would like to see again.
He gives context to this. And this is normal. What he is saying makes so much sense. And I think Paige gets that.
I think so too, even though she is self-admittedly crazy because she says
yes, which I appreciate. You're like, I have jumped so far down this that I'm super excited for the potential future of this.
And I see why she's upset because I would also be like, it's been 6 days. Why are you not proposing?
Why are you not in love with me yet?
But watching it from the inside out, I'm like, Andrea is correct to be like, let's go back to our actual lives.
It isn't like we mix. It's not real. Made it to be either.
Yes. Yes. So Paige is like slightly annoyed that they're not going to leave in like a high key relationship, but like she said, she knows she's crazy and she's like, it's only been 2 weeks that she's
I love her. She's like, I don't love it, but I get it.
I get it. But yeah, Andrea says he just wants to get to know a person before he completely commits to them, which I think is better than Austen and Sierra going full it. Honestly, couple kind of grosses me out as Austen and
They
Sierra.
are too far into it. Paige and Andrea talk about nothing, so they are too like light on this, and Sierra and Austen are too heavy on this for like the time frames we're in.
One's gonna pretend like they've never met when they go back to the city, and the other is gonna figure out if they're having babies or not yet. Like, there's
like, what city are we moving to? But once they break out of this group, it's all gonna collapse.
I know. It's super weird. Okay, so we've made it to Saturday, 12:46 a.m. We are still up. Julia is, I think, in the kitchen. Jason is still kissing Lindsay's neck, which I love. I want to watch it. We start throwing Jenga blocks at Kyle.
Oh my God, I love it.
Austen kind of speaks Italian and asks, so like Andrea and Paige are in Paige's bed, and Sierra and Austen come in, and Austen tries to speak Italian and say, oh, bello, bella, or whatever he says, super weird. But then he asks if they can come in. He says, like, can we come? Like, can we come hang out in the bed? And Paige goes, that you guys have already come a few times. And Austen's like, no, I haven't. So we all know they're not having sex. Haha. But Craig comes in eating, and he sees the big orgy group happening. So he decides to leave.
Looks fun. Bye. This is where I get so sad for Craig, because it's like he just wants friends, but then it's like, this is too coupley, so I'm gonna go back to my own room.
I think whenever Kyle gets too drunk and passes out, Amanda and Craig should hang out. I don't want Amanda trying to wake Kyle up. I want Amanda and Craig playing Jenga,
a really good idea.
Cards.
Or
they're
like laughing,
such a fun friend group.
Like laying in bed together, kind of how Sierra and Paige would, just like as friends, and just like laughing about
pillow talking,
eating chips, you know.
Yes, this is what I want.
I agree.
That's the friendship I want. So now it's 1:18 a.m. Amanda is trying to get a hammered Kyle into bed. He cannot get off this couch. Lindsay's in Jason's bed. And the orgy group is watching a movie on Paige's computer, but they fall asleep.
I love this.
So then it's 2:52 a.m. and Austen and Sierra go to Austen's room, and then Paige kicks Andy out of her room, but I don't think she knows.
Well, like Sierra was like, I want to tuck you in. And I was like, what is going to happen? In this moment, whenever they didn't show us anything, I thought maybe Austen and Craig put in their contracts that like none of this can happen. Like the summer house crew is so used to like hookups being shown. And I was like, maybe there's something weird going on that they're not going to show it to us if it does happen. Cause I thought it's so weird that this would like this many days have passed and nothing has happened.
I agree. So, so Andy leaves, but then, Sierra just puts a drunk Austen to bed and then like leaves, which we were like, well, we didn't see her leave, but she ends up
leaving. It just cuts to then the next morning.
No. First we get Amanda finding Kyle on the couch and going, open your eyes. What color are my eyes? And Kyle has no idea what color her eyes are. And so she does get Kyle into bed, but Kyle is so drunk, so he's like trying to cuddle her, and she's like, you're choking me, can you get off? And someone on Twitter was like, that's what real love is. I appreciate it.
Yes, 1,000%. It's like, all right, I love you, but can you love me from afar?
Yeah, get away from me. So now it is Saturday morning. The house is starting to wake up. Julia finds Lindsay in Jason's bed and joins the cuddles, which this is when Julia can join the group because she's friends with Lindsay, like newly roommates, and she's good friends with Jason. So she can hop on in and cuddle
100%. But 2 people cuddling is so different than 4 people in one king size bed. Yes. You can't join 2 couples. That is weird to be a
That's
fifth.
why Craig fucking hightailed it out of there. Everyone's super struggling. Kyle still has his eyeliner on. Lindsay has a nice little interview where she's talking about how she's super into Jason because he's hot as fuck and he can cook, and look at those abs, and below those abs, forget about it. And she's like, has he been here this whole time and I've just been distracted by idiots? And I'm like, yes.
I think this is just to all girls. This is what we do. We get distracted by the idiot when the Jasons of the world are nice people. So we're like, I'm sorry, you're too nice.
You know what we need to do? Because Danielle from Summer House did this too. We just need to find a man who can cook, because those seem to be the men who win.
Those are the guys who should win, but we don't let them win. But yes,
we need to start letting those men win.
Girls gotta eat, you know?
That's gonna be my new catchphrase is girls gotta eat. And so I'll only date men
who's
who
gonna
can
cook for me?
So in Austen's room, we're watching, he's watching TV, and then Sierra comes in. So that's how we know she didn't spend the night there.
Yes.
And she's like, hey, what are you doing? And Austen, just because he's such a lame-o, he's like, oh, I was just going to text you. And she's like, okay. And so she hops on into bed, but I don't know.
This
why
courtship
I don't like
is
that.
really,
I don't know.
See, I like Andrea because he is kind of courting Paige and doing sweet things, and he like kisses her forehead and brings her coffee. And whereas Austen's like, oh, here you are. I was going to text you, but I'm just laying here. I'm not going to you. I'm just waiting for you to come.
Yeah, I was just going to text you to come here.
Yeah.
So Luke and Gabby are in the kitchen, and he offers to make Gabby an egg, and she says sure, and she has coffee going. So like they've maybe moved on from the awkwardness. Yes. Luke's really good about moving on from awkwardness. Like he's not going to let it fester. He's pretty cool.
He's not into the drama like that.
He's from Minnesota. He's not going to.
I don't know if you know, but he's from
Minnesota. Austen and Sierra are cuddling, and they just want to stay in their room all day, but we can't because we got to go skiing with Kyle's parents. So it's Saturday, 10:05 a.m. Amanda still wants to go down the beginner hill to ski because she hasn't been on skis in middle school or since middle school. And then she met Kyle and she tried and she fell down backwards 3 times in a row. And then she learned his family's full of skiers and Kyle wants to be with a skier. So she's feeling a lot of pressure. She cannot ski.
Is my worst nightmare. I don't know how to ski and I'm so scared to fall, and I'm Amanda, but I'm Amanda who's never been
worse.
Skiing. Yeah,
I'm worse than Amanda, and I don't like cold, so I
can't imagine joining a family full of skiers. I feel like that's a red flag to me.
Me too. I'd be like, we can't be together.
It's kind of like
I'm telling you from the beginning.
I would rather be with a family who runs a 10K every Thanksgiving than a family full of skiers.
I would just be honest about both from the beginning and be like, if that's what you want, I can't give either.
But it's easier to get out of the one moment in the Thanksgiving 10K or to like walk it with your significant other than to skip out on skiing for an entire winter season.
That's true. Good one.
You can walk a 10K. You can't.
That's true.
Half-ass the skiing.
That's very true. Meredith's right. Meredith's a better woman than I'd be like, nope, I can't do either.
My family does the 5K sometimes. So like we just bring drinks and we walk it.
Oh, that's my dream. It'd be a nightmare if they're like, we're all gonna race. I'd be like, this is not my
I've run it a few times just because I like enjoy running at the time. Yeah.
Okay. So Luke finds Craig, right? Okay, Luke, he's hilarious. I cannot stress enough how much I love Winter House Luke. Summer House Luke, I don't think it's the right season. I think it really comes alive in the winter.
I agree.
He goes into Craig's room. Craig, who is not meant for winter.
Literally, Craig snuggled up.
Meanwhile, Craig hates winter. He lives in South Carolina. Yes. So Luke comes in and he's like, hey man, I was gonna tap a tree if you want to.
You want to come?
And Craig goes, I'm not going to be ready in time. And Luke's like, oh, sad. I'll go by myself. So Luke's still going to tap a tree.
Oh my God. It's just like, so Craig is like, sorry, won't be ready in time. You're going to have to go without me.
So then we get Austen going outside and he sees Luke and he's like, what is happening? So he walks over and Luke's having a really hard time tapping this tree. I'm assuming for maple. We're trying to get maple out of the tree.
Yes.
Great. Okay. So Luke is like, I'm not just tapping a tree. Craig was supposed to be here because we're both not tapping asses. We might as well tap some trees.
I'm like, again, Luke, appreciate you showing up here with the jokes too.
Listen, like I said, I never would want to date Summer House Luke, but I think I can get on board for Winter House Luke. He's so enjoyable.
I could do a vacation. I couldn't do a full summer or like a whole winter house, but I could do a vacation 17 days with Winter Luke.
Luke is he's so enjoyable in the winter, right? If you're like, Luke, go take a lap outside, he'd be like, I'll sit
He's
my
doing
igloo.
all the fun winter things the show really needs, because summer you don't actually need anything. It's just about drinking and laying by outside, a pool. Yeah. Winter, like, it's nice to have these activities that we're doing to help
I agree.
This vacation along, and like Luke's antics are very enjoyable.
I want to give a shout out to my dude.
I would
My
love
dude
to
named
sit in
Luke.
an igloo now.
With him.
But like with a drink. Give me a
With
hot
him and
toddy.
drinks. With him and
Yes.
drinks. Yeah, 100%. Anyway, Austen says he's not getting laid either because Sierra's a good girl and they're enjoying themselves. And Luke's
I
like,
like
yeah.
the confirmation that nothing is happening and they're not just cutting it out, because
No
it feels
sex.
like they're cutting it out.
I know. So it's 11:36. It's time to go get radical. Luke has his wig on from the night before. Poor Amanda is just having anxiety about skiing.
I don't envy her.
So what's going to happen is Amanda and Kyle are going to find the parents, but the rest of the girls are actually going to go down a hill with the boys. They're not
We're
just
done
gonna
with the
stay on
bunny
hills.
slopes. Yeah.
So we start going up the lift. The lift did stop, which is my nightmare. Oh my God.
This is another reason I do not want to go skiing, because Jules and Jason are just like stuck. And it's like, what do you do? And thank God it gets going what seems like relatively quickly, but like, this is like if a Ferris wheel broke down. I'm not interested.
At least a Ferris wheel, there's like,
it's like
you
physical.
Can sit, yeah, you have like barriers.
And there's a bar.
Here it's like
you're locked
there's
into.
no bar because you hop right out and start skiing. Nope, no thing. I would be crying. Like no joke.
I follow Rachel Zoe, who's like a famous stylist in LA, and her son fell off a ski lift this past like last winter.
Is he
like
okay?
What happens is if you fall, then they put this parachute thing underneath you so they can like catch you. But if you fall immediately, you can't. He was like sliding out of it.
Oh my God.
But like, I don't need to be on. I'm good on land.
I'm really fine inside
the bar
drinking
or the igloo.
Yes. Okay. So Lindsay and Gabby are not going down hills though. They're going to try and learn to snowboard on the bunny hills.
Yeah.
So Austen is shredding. Sierra is wiping out. Austen's trying to save her.
He is being sweet here. I really enjoy Austen on the slopes with his
I agree.
Hook up Sierra.
Luke has no girl, so he's just shredding. Amanda and Kyle find Kyle's parents. And so Amanda says she does want to start on the easy hill. I'm assuming that's the green hill and the blue, right?
Yeah, it seems like it goes
easy green, and then the blue hills.
Blue. I know there's black because it's like they're called like black diamond, you know?
Yeah.
So they all have shapes too, I think, for in case you're colorblind.
So Amanda wants to do the easiest big hill. And so Kyle's dad, he says he's here to help Amanda, but you know, Kyle's dad's mom was an Olympic skier. So like, if she was here right now, what would she say to Amanda? And Amanda says, she'd tell me I'm out of the family.
Which I'm like, that's what I would probably say to him.
Same. And then everyone laughs. Thank God. Because at first I was like, it doesn't look like anyone laughs.
We saw that in previews and it's like, what are they going to say? His mom was so supportive of Amanda. They just are the sweetest. We've seen them on Summer House, mostly the mom, but his family seems awesome.
Amanda's really fun with the parents too, because Kyle's parents met on a blind date skiing, and Kyle's dad was like, he was falling every single turn, and Amanda goes, you were falling in love every single turn. She's funny. She's like kind of funny and awkward in front of parents.
I love it.
So they're gonna go down the easy path first. Meanwhile, the boys are trying to get all the girls down the path, the hill they've taken them on. But so they decide to go on this big hill. Meanwhile, Amanda's crushing it, and Gabby is struggling on her snowboard and she falls. And so her and Lindsay have a powwow before she gets up, and Gabby just says, you know, she had hopes on this trip to bond with a boy, but she got rejected and she's sad, but because she got out of her shell, and like she's trying to reset her mind frame, and she feels like the Lone Ranger, which
it's kind of like she flip-flopped with Lindsay. You know, she started somewhat fast, I'll say a little bit, like she like fell for someone or was interested in someone, but it takes a while for her to come out of her shell, which she like warned us from the beginning.
Yes.
And so she's just kind of stumbled, where like I feel like she kind of hit what she thought was a stride, stumbled. And it's not like, what do I do next? There's not much time anymore on this trip.
Might as well just like hang out with Lindsay and learn to snowboard for a day.
And she said she feels alone. I would feel alone. There's all these couples. You haven't bonded with anybody else on a friend level either. So like, what do you do?
Well, I think her and Lindsay are having a nice moment. I appreciate it. Lindsay's great to talk to. She's
like
it
seems like
too.
she just has Lindsay and Jules because like Jules, she kind of like the Luke friendship is kind of like awkward now. You don't do too much together.
And Jason is her and buddy, Amanda are like their own thing.
Yeah, and they are all in couples with guys. So it's like they have their own thing going on. You're not really a part of anything.
So the girls have made it down the hill. Sierra is killing it, but we don't know if she knows how to stop. So the boys might have to tackle her. I love that Austen's like, Luke, we might have to tackle her. And Luke's like, no, she'll be okay. We're not going to tackle her ass.
Pizza,
pizza. But she does it. And Austen is so proud. And Sierra's like, oh, it looks so ugly. But Austen loved it. And he kisses her on the mountain. And it's kind of cute.
Okay, Andy and Austen have their strengths at different moments. Austen is really good about like sticking with the person and like spending more quality time with them. Andy like does these like cute gestures, and both the girls want more of the opposite.
Yeah. So now we've made it to 1:30 p.m. and Sierra is done. She's gonna go get drunk now.
Hell yeah.
With Amanda and Paige. But the boys are gonna go back up, and it's like fine. Amanda has made it down the hill. Kyle's parents are like, do you want to go again? And Amanda's like, you know what? I did good.
You go do the difficult ones.
I'm done. So the family's gonna go without Amanda. So yeah, we have a nice girls hangout. They all made it down the mountain. They fell at the bottom. It's very nice. Paige is really happy that Austen kept Sierra safe because Andrea is like fucking with Craig the whole time.
Yeah.
Which is so funny.
I love that it's Craig too. Yep. Knowing what we know now, it's hilarious.
It's so funny. So yeah, we see the boys like getting some real turns in. That's what they call it. Time for some real turns.
Which I get it. The girls do not want to be out there. So like, let's split this time. We appreciate it.
It'd be like annoying if one of the girls was like, no, keep teaching me. And the boys like had to give up their time. But I appreciate the girls being like, you do it. We know
they're all very realistic. Like, let's go down the easy slope, spend some time with us. We'll go to the bar where we want to be. You can go on the harder slopes where you want to be.
We'll sit here for hours if that's what you need.
Yes.
We got it.
Done.
So back to the girls. Amanda wants to know what's been happening. And Paige and Andrea have been very PG-13. It's a little handsy because Paige can't stop herself, but that's why she won't sleep in a bed with him, because she knows she won't be able to stop herself. And I get this too. But Paige also, this is her MO, and I appreciate it. She doesn't want to sleep with him and then they never talk again. And then him be like, well, I had sex with her. She wants the commitment and then she'll give up the goods.
Yes.
But she also does want to sleep with him.
I don't think if they were just in New York, I don't think it would be as complicated as this. But I think when you come home from a trip or like, and you're filming a show too, you don't want to be this girl, like when people are like, how was your trip? And it's like, oh, we hooked up. Can't wait to see him at home. And then people ask about it again. Like, you don't want to have this
never
story.
Talk to him again.
Yeah.
And then Sierra says she's nervous around Austen, like butterfly nervous. She doesn't know if it's a fun vacation thing or what. And Amanda said, happiness will find you when you're not looking for it. Not love, but happiness, which I appreciated. And Sierra says she's never felt this way before. She could see herself falling in love with Austen, which literally every girl has literally fallen in love with Austen. I don't understand it.
I would probably fall. You can see it happening, and it seems like this could happen, and that's the problem. And Austen, I feel like, easily just like gives in to this stuff.
Austen falls in love too, like
hard. So he's just, I feel like he thinks like, this is just easier, let's move forward with it, like this is good. He is happy too.
Yeah.
But when it shouldn't always happen, like you guys don't live in the same city. Let's like keep this light and fun. They're getting way too serious about this.
It's like very realistically, I don't know how this is going to work. So like, let's look.
Yeah.
So now it is Saturday, 4:12 p.m. Gabby and Lindsay find the girls. Gabby likes snowboarding instead of skiing. I've heard snowboarding's a lot harder, but whatever. The cooks are back. The boys are here. Jason tells Lindsay next time he'll take her out. And Jason says when he met Lindsay, he was like kind of scared, but kind of intrigued. And we get like video evidence, which is a perfect way to describe Lindsay.
And
like,
she is just
terrified.
You're like, whoa, who is
like,
that?
he does say like the nicest thing I think I would want a guy to say about me, and it's don't sleep on Lindsay, which I just think is so nice.
Agree, because I think I often do sleep on Lindsay because
You're
most of
like,
the stuff, most of the stuff we see is these like terrible relationships she gets herself in, and it's like, Lindsay, like just break up with him. Also, he doesn't value you, so I get so upset with her. But I get that. I think I'm so upset with her because I feel the same way as she does. I think I like aligned. Yes. I'm mad at her because I'm mad at myself. But agreed, Lindsay is a badass person and people don't value her.
And Lindsay knows herself. I know. And Lindsay like knows herself. She's like, you're going to activate me. She has like a whole clothing line called Activated, because she knows she gets mad over the smallest shit. And it's kind of funny. And she owns her shit. At the reunion, they brought out sandwiches. They brought out sandwiches and she laughed about it. Yeah, she's always willing to answer questions.
She's a fun time.
We posted about her multiple times about Sandwich Gate, and she's always down to laugh about it. She's so nice.
She commented on our last Instagram.
I know, TGIF bitches.
Yeah.
So fun.
I sleep on Lindsay. I'm sorry, Lindsay.
I'm a fan. She is too
Justice
funny.
For Lindsay now.
Justice for Lindsay. Okay, the cooks leave, so then we go back to the house. It is Saturday, 8:23 p.m. Lindsay asked Jason if he wants to shower with her. Listen, I appreciate her not being like with friends, being like, should I make a move? Should I wait for him? She's like, you know what I want? I want to shower with you. Get in the shower.
I need more of this. Even like, I understand that people are not hooking up because there are cameras. I get it. I would not want to be doing this on camera, but the shower and the bathrooms are safe. So at least give us some like knowledge that things are happening.
Yeah. So Jason's gonna go shower. They go to the one downstairs where Amanda poops. So yeah, Jason's pumped. He heads down. Paige wants to spray tan. Luke's making some pasta. Amanda hears laughter in the bathroom, but like doesn't really think about it. But then Julia needs to find her nail polish remover, and Kyle borrowed it, and it's in the bathroom.
But who's in there?
But someone's in the bathroom, so we're not going to go in. So then Lindsay comes out of the bathroom, and then Jason comes out of the bathroom. And I love it.
I wish somebody was standing there though.
Also, what they heard in the bathroom wasn't sex noises. It was laughter. Because that's what they played for. Was just pure cracking up.
Which then I think you think, oh, maybe that's coming from somewhere else. Maybe that's not.
No, I think it was them. I think it was more
like whenever you're at the bathroom and you're like trying to listen, you're like, oh, maybe that's coming down from the hallway.
Yeah,
and that's
who's
not
laughing in the bathroom? Yeah. So we have packages. Julia got flowers from her boyfriend, and Craig is like, where are my flowers from my girlfriend? Sorry. From
I think he's like, shit, I should be sending flowers.
He says that after.
I forget I have a girlfriend.
He says that after because he's like, wait, you got flowers? Where are mine? And she's like, I don't know. It's not my issue. But then he says, maybe I should send her some. Yeah. And she's like, maybe you should. But he also says he misses Natalie, but he's starting to like being by himself.
Yeah. I mean, you could tell early on, we already knew that they're not together, but like you can really see why they're not together.
Yeah, they like prefer not to be around each other. Paige and Andrea have a lovely conversation about when Andrea says, I love it. I don't know how he does it, but he does it cutely and she's obsessed. And so they make out a little bit. Amanda brings Kyle some coffee. Lindsay cannot get pasta out of this pot. She's struggle busing. So we go back to Amanda and Kyle. They're downstairs, and Amanda says she likes skiing today and she could see herself doing it with her little family. And Kyle starts yelling at her about like, you can't just be the drunk mom inside. And Amanda's like, first of all, don't yell. And second of all, I will be that drunk mom after I go down once. She goes, I'll go down once.
Yeah, I'll spend time with my kids, but I will also be the mom at the bar. Like, don't tell me what I'm going to do because I will be doing that.
Don't say you're yelling at me because then I won't ski at all. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's get together.
I'll make sure I do it in the right order so I'm not drunk skiing with our kids.
Yes. So then we get Lindsay going into Jason's room, and just to tell him, she's like, hey, I'm going to put on comfy clothes. And Jason's like, okay, I'll be here in my room. And then Lindsay's like, also, if you want to sleep by yourself, just like, let me know. And this is such a girl thing to do of like,
I'm giving you an out.
Yes.
Are you going to take it?
You better not take that out or I'll kill you.
Mm-hmm.
And so he says he's always happy to share for a cuddle or two. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll be here tonight.
I mean, Jason is the hero in this story.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with him. Okay, so then it is Sunday, 12:35 a.m. We are up. We are about. Paige tells Andrea to leave her bed. LOL, see you tomorrow, bitch. Can't sleep here. Sierra's in Austen's room and she just wants to kiss. Lindsay is in bed with Jason and it looks like she's shirtless and they won't be getting cold tonight because they're going to cuddle and only cuddle probably.
We also have 2 comforters, he says.
I know they're going to get hot tonight. Amanda wants a back rub, but Kyle wants some smooches. And then Austen covers up the camera.
Well, because Sierra's like, they
They're
can see. Yeah, they can see. And he's like, who? Which I'm like, this is the difference. Yeah, Austen doesn't realize the reason you're not getting some is not because Sierra's nice. It's because there's freaking camera in your bedroom and in hers.
So it is Sunday, 9:42 a.m. We are starting to wake up. Sierra and Austen wake up in the same bed. Luke and Jason are making some food. Kyle's making some coffee. It's important to know Kyle is making the coffee, everyone.
Yeah.
So tonight, Luke's throwing a party and Jason's going to cook. I cannot stress enough how hot Jason is in this moment.
He's just constantly cooking and it's not stressful. I enjoy actually watching him cook.
Same. Okay, so then Kyle says he parties a lot, but he works 10 times more. So when he unplugs, he's gonna party. So we better be fucking ready.
He really is the work hard, play hard mentality.
Oh, 100%.
He works so much, but he goes off when he's not online.
I love it. Lindsay's in the kitchen now and she's talking about her sexy Viking costume with Luke, and Jason's in there cooking and he's like, I cannot wait. Which I think Lindsay needs that. Lindsay needs, like, she's dropping hints. She's like, I'm gonna be hot, and she needs the guy she's with
to like fan the flames.
Fuck yeah. Paige and Sierra catch up. Sierra is smitten with her cuddle bug and Andrea walks in with some coffee. And Paige is like, what time did you leave last night? And Andrea's like, I tucked you in. So I didn't sit here.
These are the cute things he's bringing her coffee and he like tucked her in last night.
Yes. And he says he would have brought Sierra coffee, but he thought she was on the other side of the house.
Sorry.
And then Paige sips the coffee and she's like, wow, this is the best coffee you've made. Like, this is so good. And he goes, Kyle made the coffee. And she jokes, she goes, am I in love with Kyle? That's something I would say. I'd be like, oh my God.
Kyle and Paige's like back and forth is great because they have a lot of banter and they can like fight with each other. But I love when Paige makes comments like that. Am I in love with Kyle?
I like don't even know. So Austen's here and he actually brings a cup of tea for Sierra.
Stepping it up, Austen.
He figured it out. And Andy wants to know, where was Sierra last night, Mr. Austen? But no one gives us an answer, and instead we have to get ready for Luke's Nordic Games party.
I'm excited is all I want to say, because this is what we got in the like first preview is this tug of war. So like I've been waiting for this for months.
When it got announced, was like, this is what we got, like this 5-minute thing of just them playing tug of war. So Jason, like all the Nordic costumes they ordered shows up because all we do is order from Amazon and on the show. And Jason gets the one with the little pigtails. Very cute. He's so secure in himself. He's like, got it. I can wear pigtails and be hot. Luke wants to get everyone outdoors in the elements because you know what? These people are not appreciating a pure Minnesotan winter. Even though we're not in Minnesota, you got to appreciate the winter.
Yep.
And he of course, growing up in Minnesota,
obviously,
he used to create games and have fun in the winter all the time. So we need to step it up. We got to
show these people what it's like to be in the winter elements.
What a winter is all about. So Kyle's super ready to step up the Nordic energy. We will get dirty and we will get after it. Let's send it to the max. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it.
Like I said, Kyle's an all or nothing. He's just like chanting this entire Viking stuff.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Let's do it.
He dedicates. So Lindsay and Jason have a cute moment where they're chugging beers intertwined. And then Jason is like, oh my gosh, you're such a queen. Or he calls her a queen in some
Yeah,
way.
he like says like first is my drink. I can't forget about the queen.
My queen.
The queendom, I think is what he said.
Oh, it's so cute. Okay, so it is Sunday, 1:28 p.m. All right, you heathens, says Luke. It's a beautiful day outside. We're gonna pick teams. So Luke and Jason are the team captains. So Jason, really, I'll like go through the teams, but quick thing. Jason picks Craig in the first round, and literally Austen is so offended because Austen and Craig, though besties, have a weird rivalry sometimes.
Well, okay. Everybody thinks they're better than Craig at all things on Southern Charm. Like Craig is always below them in their minds. Even Craig's the women are like, I'm above you.
Yes.
So there's this weird need for Craig to be lower than everyone.
Yeah. But no one on Summer House thinks that. But it's like Austen gets kind of annoyed.
And physicality, like Austen is bigger than Craig. So I understand this is lining up like you're in grade school and it's like, who's going to be on my team? Why would you pick Craig over me? You get insecure.
Craig is always everyone's little brother. So they're like, why would you pick Craig? He's just this young.
Yeah, he's second best. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So Jason's team is called the Skull Crushers, and it's Craig, Lindsay, Andy, Julia, and Sierra. And Luke's team is called the Great Heathen Army, and it's Kyle, Paige, Austen, Amanda, and Gabby. Also, I'm surprised Luke picked Paige so high because those two don't have a friendship, but they know each other. They have enough of a friendship, but not enough.
And listen, I love Paige, but Paige is not going to be a great asset on these teams.
She's tiny. Because someone even said, like, why are you picking her? And I was like, no, I kind of get that.
Love Paige. She would be the last pick, in my opinion.
Julia would have been a good Julia. She's like not bigger, but she's got a little more like substance.
Yeah, she seems a little bit more athletic than runway Paige over here.
Yeah, but I mean, like I appreciate Luke. Maybe Luke's just trying to like smooth the surface a little bit.
I would love to interview these two guys about their pickings.
Yeah, so we go outside. I couldn't find the igloo, which kind of annoyed me, but it's like fine because I think the snow's slightly melting because we saw some grass. So the first game is called Throw a Log Behind You and the Furthest Log Wins.
And I like that they spray painted one blue and one red.
Yeah. So first it's Jason versus Luke and Jason wins. Then it's Julia versus Gabby. Gabby wins. Lindsay versus Amanda. Lindsay wins. None of these are surprising me so far. No. Sierra versus Paige are both in bikinis, which is fucking cold. Let's for a second. My God. But Paige wins, which
barely.
I was slightly surprised.
The
but
other throws we see, it's like we have to really, we get like a very high up picture of where these are going, and like Paige and Sierra, it's just like doo-doo.
Yeah, they had to like go measure it. So it ends up being a tie. So the team captains have to do a throw off, and Luke ends up winning. So Luke's team wins. Hip hip hooray!
The Great Heathen Army.
Yeah, Craig is upset. Let's do that. Craig's very upset to lose. He's not a good sport. Craig's a lot of things, not a good sport.
Craig is competitive. I think he has just accepted that people think he's below them, but he likes to prove them wrong.
Yeah,
losing is the worst.
It's not an option. So now we're playing tug of war. This is the moment. Teaser trailer. We're so excited. So as we're getting ready and set up, Craig starts throwing snow at Kyle. I think as a joke, but the way Craig does it is like not jokingly. No. So Paige yells at him, which is like kind of funny because now we know, but Paige is not having it. So they do the tug of war. It goes on for a while. Luke's team ends up winning. Craig is so fucking mad. He starts throwing snowballs at Austen,
which are darts. Like he actually hits him.
I know. But like at least he hit Austen amongst like everyone he could have hit. Austen's the one that's like gonna care the least. So we made it to Sunday. We're all inside.
Also, really quick, they also did play a game of like skating around a thing and like flip cup, but they edited it out, and I was like, yeah, I've seen clips of it on Instagram, and that one seemed the best. It's kind of like in the summer, some people do like the slip and slide one, and then you like play flip cup. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
It's instead like they like skated on a lake or something and went around this like barrel and came back. Fun. Yeah, I'm sad that they did the log throw and not the flip cup game because I liked the flip cup game.
That's like really fun. Sad. Okay, so then let's see. Blah blah blah. Oh, so now it's Sunday, 5:11 p.m. Lindsay and Jason are making out a little bit, but we're all gonna go in the hot tub. All a million of us are gonna fit in this tiny ass hot tub. But Austen can't find his phone. But then when he does, he sees he got a text he doesn't like, and now he's sad boy in bed. Meanwhile, everyone's partying in the hot tub. No sad boys there. And they're like, where's Austen? So Sierra tries to call Austen and he says he doesn't want to go in the hot tub. So
like
sad boy.
You can hear he's kind of been crying. Like his voice is like very like forced and tight when you're either trying not to cry or like just not show emotion.
Yeah. Which, all right. So it is Sunday, 6:17 p.m. It is shower time to have a Viking dinner. Jason is cooking. Kyle is dancing in the mirror about being in his 40s, but still trying his best to look hot, which I
haven't worked out in a little bit.
This is me in the mirror all the time.
Kyle,
I worked out this morning and still suck.
This is like Kyle. The great thing about like the summer house and now winter house is like the format of the show with the little boop, 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 little scenes. And Kyle always gives us solid ones. I always really enjoy him.
Yeah. I always appreciate Kyle. So then Jason's cooking, taking over the kitchen. Lindsay and Julia are in their room talking about Jason, about how he's so cute. He's cooking a whole meal, and Lindsay's super into Jason.
But like,
and she
what
wants
if he's not?
Yeah,
this
she's
person.
like, I want to make sure he's really nice because that's what he seems. And Julia, being Jason's friend for years, was like, no, that's really who he is.
I will lay my life down.
Yes,
and confirm this.
It makes Lindsay feel better, so she wants to bring Lindsay to her apartment after
and do all the things.
A whole sexcapade, if you will. So then Lindsay's like, meanwhile, like, by the way, how's your boyfriend, Julia? Julia's boyfriend is 42.
I was like, I didn't know if we were joking for a minute. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, how's your boyfriend? He's great. He's 42. And I was like,
42 years old.
What?
Yeah. I was like, ooh, okay.
And do we know how old Jules is? She has to be in her like
she's like
20s,
Paige's.
Okay,
I would think like, she's like Paige's. So Paige is our age, I think, like 27, 28.
I think Paige is 28.
Yeah, I think she just turned 28. She's a year older than
27 during this filming. So Jules is like 27.
I would assume 28. Jules is around that age.
Yeah. It's just
she seems younger though.
This is insane. And I love how Lindsay's like, everybody did tell me to date older. That's just her reaction. Instead of saying anything, it's just people told me to do that.
So it is hard for Julia because she's in a party house and she doesn't know if they'll get married, but like they're dating. So we'll see.
I need to like stalk Jules because they've shown
she doesn't really post with her boyfriend anymore.
Okay. Well, they posted that photo and he's blurred out and that did not make me feel like he was that old.
I don't think he wants to be associated with the show. You know how like Perry was kind of iffy.
Do we know if they're still together?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay, so that's all I can tell you. Anyway, Amanda goes into the kitchen. We all know Amanda's got a big crush on Jason, but she can't do anything about it. So she's like, hey, Jason, can I help? And he's like, you can clean. And she's like, oh, I'm not going to clean. Which I was like, Amanda, this man is cooking a whole Viking dinner.
Yeah, but like, if you're wanting to help cook and maybe learn something, then you're like,
that's true.
Nobody likes to clean, but somebody's got to do it.
But then Kyle shows up and Amanda's like, hey, can you clean this kitchen? And Kyle's like, wait, I have this rose for you, and hands Amanda. He's like, will you accept this rose? And Amanda says no, which is so funny. And he's like, Craig, I saw this going a different way. And Craig's like, me too, buddy. Sorry. So then Andrea tells Paige she's a 10 plus on a scale of 1 to 10 cuteness.
Paige, like, here's Andy fanning like Paige's fire. She's like,
if there's one way to love Paige, it's to tell her she looks good.
Yeah,
because she loves her outfits.
Yeah.
So Craig then finds Austen and is like, hey, dude, you cool?
What's going on?
And Austen, this whole thing, it's like not funny, but it's like kind of funny because it's like what 19-year-olds go through. This is a 19-year-old story.
But I mean, this really shows you, because Austen goes into like detail, like how crazy his and Madison's relationship is, and all the ups and downs you can kind of feel.
So someone reached out to Austen about Madison going to a hospital. So he unblocked her number and had a ton of messages from Madison, and she told him he went to the hospital or that she went to the hospital and she only wants to talk to Austen. So Austen was like, okay, what happened? So Madison had a seizure while she was cooking for her son, Hudson, and she passed out on the floor and Hudson had to call the ambulance.
Which is like, that's terrifying.
That's so terrible. Listen, Hudson's the cutest little boy.
Yeah.
Like,
and no matter what Madison has done, she does not deserve that. Like, this is really sad.
Also, I think they both sucked at this relationship. So they're both equally stupid about
it's very toxic. They're not toxic people, in my opinion, but they're toxic together.
Yes. So Austen asked if Madison was okay, and she said yes. And then Craig was like, it's fine. Why are we doing this? And Austen says he has a great girl in his life. That's wonderful. And Craig's like, yeah, okay. But like, why are we still reaching out to Madison? She's a bad person, which I don't think Madison's a bad person. I think Craig hates Madison so much. He can never see past it.
We talked about this last episode. Craig hates what Madison can do to Austen.
Yeah. So yeah, Craig even says he hates Madison because her greatest pleasure is putting Austen through hell.
Yes.
Which I don't think is totally true for Madison, but Craig sees it that way.
I think she gets pissed and digs in and digs in, and like I don't think she's like the happiest ever. Like she's not like vindictive like that where she's like super thrilled to see him feel like shit, but I think she feels like shit, so she wants him to feel like shit.
I also I think Austen, like I said, did a lot of wrong things in this relationship. He literally got caught by Madison having a threesome with two girls that were not Madison, and it was recorded. So he's shitty too. But I think Craig and Austen really like to gaslight Madison on the season of Southern Charm we saw, because she was just, and Austen was begging for her back, and Madison was the one that said no, and then
Madison gets blamed for them in this cycle when like Austen is a willing participant. He comes to it.
Yes. Okay, so whatever. Craig's just annoyed that Madison reached out. Then Andrea shows up. And Craig's like, hey, Andrea, how did you cut the cord with your ex? And Andrea's like, I blocked her everywhere. And I like, don't respond. And
which like, Austen did. But the problem is that Madison's friend reached out and said Austen was in the hospital. And when somebody's in the hospital, like,
you have to find out
each other that this isn't like, this isn't just like, oh, I saw Madison at a bar. She didn't seem happy. This is like a major thing that Austen obviously is a decent human being and is worried about her, so reached out, but then it opens up everything.
Yes. So also Austen really loves Hudson, so I think like hearing that, like Austen's very upset. So yeah, Madison texted Austen too and said, please tell me you haven't moved on, which infuriates Austen and Craig because that's such a fucked up thing to say. But it would kind of suck to but it would also suck to see. But
this is the cycle of stuff that like that Madison is at fault for too. Yes. That it's like you're then pulling him back in. You're tugging on him and you're, like looping him back in. When he opened this up to be like, are you okay? I heard you're in the hospital. I'm really concerned about you. And then you take that moment because the talking is open to then like try and suck him back in.
Yes. So Sierra knocks on the door because no one can find these boys. Yes. And Craig locks it and tells her to go away. But like we don't know it's Sierra. She just knocks and then Craig's like, go away. And then Sierra leaves. And so Sierra goes downstairs, pulls Paige aside, and she's like, there's the three of them are in there, and like they told me to go away. And Paige is suspicious immediately. She's like, boys are weird.
Something's going on. Happening? I hate when the boys talk.
Boys are not supposed to talk. This is a case for the FBI.
Yes.
So back with the boys, Andrea and Craig are like, move on. And Austen's like kind of crying again because he's got this beautiful girl, but he's like kind of hung up on her ex, but he doesn't want her to he doesn't want Sierra to know he's kind of hung up on her.
And Craig's like, do not tell her. Thing I know, do not tell her.
Do not tell her. So now it's 8:14. The boys are finally here. Paige pulls Andy away to her room and Austen and Sierra hug. So Paige and Andy have a conversation, and Paige basically is like, what the fuck happened in that room? And he's like, nothing. What he does tell her is that Austen really likes Sierra, and Andy told Austen that Sierra's a great person and he should totally keep in touch with her after this house, which is like exactly what didn't happen, but whatever.
Well, okay, we didn't
It
see
kind
that.
of happened.
We
probably.
don't know. I don't know. I feel like Andy could have also said this. Like, you have a great girl. Just focus on that.
We talked about that, but that's not what
But that could have gotten like cut out, is what I'm saying.
No, I mean, they said, what I'm saying is they said, like, keep with Sierra. She's great.
Yes.
Don't worry about Madison. But I'm saying that
Andy is leaving out this gaping thing,
omitting.
which I agree with him. This isn't his thing to tell.
I agree.
Because Craig and Austen had that conversation, don't tell Sierra that I shouldn't tell this to Sierra. That's not your place to tell her.
I agree. Andrea should not tell Paige, but Paige wants the gossip, and she knows that's not what happened in that.
He's like, if I had it, I would tell you.
Nuh-uh. Paige knows men's lie, or all men lie, but then Andy compliments her outfit, and Paige is like, okay,
distracted.
We're done. Yeah. Jason, so proud of his meat. Lindsay says she's going to thank him now and later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we are at dinner sitting there, and Amanda and Kyle want to know, who would Austen rather date, Amanda or Kyle? And Austen picks Kyle because Kyle makes him laugh. So then we ask Paige, who would you rather date, Amanda or Kyle? And Paige dies laughing first off. She's like, why?
Kyle for a minute is like, wait, why are you laughing?
Why are you laughing? And she's like, why the
fuck
would I pick Kyle?
Based on her reaction, he was like, oh no, would you pick me?
And she's like, why would I pick you? You suck.
Well, no,
I love Amanda. So it's dinner time. Jason is at the head of the table. We cheers to the meat. We cheers to the Nordic Viking challenge.
We cheers with the turkey legs. I love it.
We shall drink, we shall eat, and we shall fuck, says Luke.
Crickets.
And no one laughs. So Julia then asked Paige and Andrea, like, what's going to happen when you guys leave? Which I think is a fair question, right? Julia is Paige's friend. She's Andrea's friend, and she's just going to get the dirt. She's making it like light and fluffy, right? She's like,
yes.
Are you guys going to stay together? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, what's going to happen?
Andrea says he'll see. And Julia's like, no, like, what are your intentions with my friend?
Yeah, like, she says, I'm not happy with that answer. Like,
try again.
More detail, not just what is going to see. Are you guys going to go on a date when you get home? Like,
yes. So then Austen from across the table tells Julia to shut up and that this is the dumbest thing he's ever heard. And Sierra and Amanda are both like, you shut up, cut this out. And Austen's like, no, because what? Then we're going to go to me and to Jason and ask what intentions are. Like, that's so stupid. And Amanda's like, so let me ask you, where is this going with Sierra? Like, let me know. Come on. Amanda's not going to deal with this bullshit. And Julia's like, Julia's sitting there like, why are you mad? I was talking to two people who aren't you.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're
not chiming in. I didn't even go to you. So if I got to you and you're pissed, sure. But like, butt out.
We weren't talking about you. And then Paige is like, also, Austen, it's not weird for my best friend to ask me that. Like, that's a fair fucking question.
Yes.
And then Austen is actually mad. Like, he's actually mad. So Sierra gets up and leaves. And then Lindsay takes Julia to the bathroom because I think Julia's pissed. She's like, fuck this guy. Fuck this white ass.
For Julie, okay, this is out of nowhere for people who don't know what's going on with Austen. They have no context for Austen and like why he's already agitated. All they know is we came in from Viking hood. Yeah. Austen didn't join us and now he's being pissy and
like now a bitch.
Yeah, agitated.
So she's like, Austen's not gonna yell about me talking to Paige.
Yeah, and then I can talk to my own friend. Yeah,
so Paige and Sierra have like a side thing in the kitchen. In the kitchen. And Paige is basically like, I don't love Andrea's answer, but I also don't love the way Austen got involved and shut it down. And Sierra's like, why does Austen care?
They're like, more red flags here. What is going on?
So now at dinner, we're at the dinner table again, and Amanda's like, Austen, why are you mad? And she's like, are you mad you don't have an answer? He's like, yeah, I don't have an answer. I just don't know. Like, we'll see. And like, she's like, men are fucking lame. And Craig's just basically like, let's be happy and nice. Let's shut
Austen, stop doing this.
And Andrea says he just doesn't want to discuss the question in public, which I think is kind of fair, right? If it was just Julia, Andrea, and Paige.
Yeah. Or just like even a few of them, but to be at a dinner table where we're supposed to be having fun and just the spotlight's on you. You cannot say, no matter what you say, you're going to be wrong. Let's be honest here.
So this meal was kind of a mess, but thank God for Kyle, who's like obsessed with this meal and will not let Jason.
Kyle is
ever
the
feel
we're
sad.
having fun.
We're having fun. I love this fucking meal. Jason, I love you.
He's doing his like Viking chanting thing.
Yes, Jason. Yeah, so now it's Sunday, 9:26. Kyle is still raving about the meal, but it's time to clean. Jason and Lindsay are kissing in the kitchen. The girls are talking at the table. Austen finds Lindsay in the kitchen and says, I just want to cry to you so bad. You have no idea. And Lindsay's like, okay, should we
Let's go
cry
talk
somewhere? And so the girls start then going in the kitchen, but then drunk Austen sees Sierra and he's like, can I talk to you in the room? Yeah. And so, they like Sierra's kind of weirded out, but she's like, okay, let's talk. And then Lindsay tells Craig, like, this is what Austen just said.
I'm confused.
And this is when Craig goes, yeah, because of his past. And then I'm sure Lindsay figured it was medicine.
I think Craig's trying to like subtly be like, something's going on here clearly, but I can't tell you what.
So then in Sierra's room, Austen brings up how they really haven't talked about exes and he just needs, like, he just got out of something a few months ago, but that shit haunts him and he feels like he's still messed up from it. And Sierra's like, okay, why are you just telling me this now though?
What's going on?
In communication?
And what happened? What's going on? All these questions, no answers.
End of episode. So next time on the season finale, we get more parties. Lindsay wants to bring Jason home so they can fuck. Paige doesn't know if her and Andrea are going to make it. Austen doesn't think he's in a place to be exclusive. Lindsay doesn't think Austen's ready to be in a relationship. Amanda gets yelled at by Austen, who has an earring on, which I cannot wait.
I can't wait because I love that in Summer House, people are in costumes, like this type of show, like you were in costumes screaming at each other. It just makes it that much funnier.
I can't wait for Austen with his earring to be yelling at Amanda.
It looks kind of like Barbie.
Idea.
Or something.
I have no idea. And Amanda yells back. She's not gonna let this fucking fluffy ass Southern charm
the way she handled that table and this. I'm like, this is the Amanda I love who sticks up for herself.
We have Sierra crying. We have Julia eating cheese while everyone fights, which is I have a feeling Julia is gonna win my most fun next episode just based off that. Okay, so should we talk about fun, not fun, and then watch what happens last? Or no, should we talk about opinions really quick?
Do opinions, and then we can do fun, not fun.
So Kristen says, I watch Winter House for Lindsay, and I'm so happy she and Jason are a thing right now. Is it possible she's going to chew him up and spit him out? Absolutely. Absolutely. But it looks like Jason is up for the adventure. Yeah, mate. I mean, Jason seems to know. If you date Lindsay and you don't know her at this point, you're dumb. Just watch the show. So I think
Jason seems like the most worthy opponent thus far, but it doesn't seem like
forever.
In present day, it doesn't seem like anything's happening. So I would like a reunion for a status update on them post.
Agreed.
Show.
She also says, I love Paige is being aware of things. Her comment of not sleeping with Andrea. So she's just not a number. I love it. And for her to call him out for lying in the confessional while discussing Sierra, I'm so happy to start to see the end of the Italian stallion gag.
Yeah.
I like the I'm sorry.
I love it for vacation. He's the perfect vacation hookup. He is not long-term, but I don't like that there are these like red flags and it doesn't seem like Paige really cares though. Thus far. Like she kind of still thinks that something's going to happen, but he's giving you all these signs that nothing's going to happen.
Yeah. So now it's Justin says, fuck, Austen is a fucking fuck. Blowing up at the table at the end of the episode like that. So lame. Sierra also telling him to stop thinking she has any control over him is laughable. Like, dude, you don't know this guy. Giving him the eyes while telling him to stop doesn't work. So you got no history with someone. She's got to learn that he's a fuckhead. Yeah. I mean, she should have probably watched Southern Charm.
I also think I want to give Austen some leeway here because when you like have something crazy like that happen and then you have to go like sit with people and you're not ready to discuss it and your emotions are on high, like this is all clearly like he's just feeling crazy. Not that he like his reaction is okay, but I just think there's a lot going on and he's just not ready to talk about it. So then like the idea that he gets a question pointed at him. I think he's trying to stop it without actually reacting like this to avoid it, but then it comes up anyways because of his reaction.
Yeah.
It's just a nightmare. Like, he does not want to talk about him and Sierra right now because he can't even think about that because he's so freaking out about Madison.
Yeah. Well,
if that Madison situation hadn't happened, I think he would have just taken the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I don't mind Andrea lying to Paige about Sierra. It's not his secret to tell. Well, let me rephrase. He shouldn't have lied, but he also shouldn't tell her what they were talking about. Again, these people just fucking met. No one owes anyone anything else.
I think the way he handled it was perfect, in my opinion. Like, this, it's okay to lie. In my opinion, it's okay to lie about these things. If it was Kyle and Amanda, then that's different. Like, Kyle should be telling Amanda that stuff, but this is just a little fling. That's not something you share.
I am also super glad Lindsay is having fun with Jason. I just hope she ain't falling in love, like she always does. Same. She is. She's fully in love.
I know.
Also, is that igloo ever gonna get finished? LOL, like it's a round wall of snow at this point. Pretty lame. Dustin, don't sleep on my boy. Luke, I don't think
it's gonna be finished.
I don't either, but
or at least shown.
No one wanted to help. That was the problem. No one wanted to help.
He should have built it smaller too. I think he thought, let's all sit
everyone was
together,
sit in the igloo,
but then nobody's gonna help, and so we can't. Time management is tough on this.
And last thing Dustin said is, so this episode got me and Jackie thinking we might take some snowboard lessons this winter up in the mountains. I hate fucking skiing, but I've been told by many people snowboarding is easier, so we were talking about it. Should be fun. Thank you, Winterhouse, for the great suggestion. I heard the opposite, Dustin, but you do you, man.
Let me know how that goes, because maybe it'll inspire me.
It will not inspire me. Okay, fun, not fun. I have mine ready. Do you have yours ready?
I don't have mine ready, so I need you to go first with either one.
My not fun is going to be Sierra. Let me tell you why. I just think she's not doing enough. Like, her only storyline is Austen. Like, at least Paige, she's giving us funny interviews. She's like hunting down the truth. She's like having a good time. Sierra is just like obsessed with Austen. And I get it. When you're like into a guy, you become kind of obsessed, but I'm just like not about it. That's it. I don't really have like a bad reason, but I'm adding Sierra to my list.
Yeah. This is tough. Because we are doing the thing where we can't pick people twice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm you know what? I'm gonna pick Craig. I feel like he's being a little hypocritical lately. Where he's like calling out Andy, but being buddy with him in certain situations. And I don't really like it. And then he's all about Andy being honest with Paige about like where he's at, but is telling Austen not to do the same. And like, if somebody wants to come in the room, I get it. You're trying to protect your friend, but the like, go away, locking the door is so middle school.
Yeah.
I agree. Out of all the people I can pick, he was my most not fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my fun is gonna be Jason.
Same.
I'm gonna pick him. Okay, good. We're both picking Jason. Okay.
There's no one else. Like,
he cooked a whole Viking dinner. He's having fun with Lindsay. He's saying all the right things. He's being perfect. I think I'm in love with him. I'm obsessed.
He's being a good friend. Like, he has some good fun friend banter with different people, but like also a relationship, but it's not dramatic and crazy. It's just, he's being a normal person, and I could watch him cook all day, and I'm so hungry because I want that dinner. Especially when he said the word mushroom and Brussels sprouts that he made, my mouth is literally salivating.
Yeah, he was hot. Okay, super quick. I asked on my poll, do you like Sierra and Winterhouse? 5 people said yes, and 6 people said no.
I didn't vote, if I'm honest.
I said no. She's just not giving me enough. That's it.
I really like Sierra. I do. I think she's a great side character.
That's the problem.
Like, she's a great girl in the girl like chats. Like those are perfect. But her being thrust into this main character role with Austen, she doesn't have enough. But I do love her on the show as a complementary character to, like, Paige needs a girlfriend to chat about things, and Sierra is perfect in those.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
why it was like for me, because I don't want her kicked off the show by any means. I just don't need her to be the star storyline.
Yeah, I agree. So a few things from Watch What Happens Live. Amanda actually agreed with Craig that we shouldn't tell Sierra anything from that conversation in the bedroom because Austen should figure everything else out first. And I agree. So then we had a few polls. Can Madison and Austen ever be friends? 99% of people said no.
I agree with that. I think would have to
same.
I think they could be friendly. You know, like if there was like a wedding, like there's not going to be problems, but they can't be on Southern Charm together. I'm very curious to watch the next season because they are on it together.
I agree. And then we had, is Kyle hot when he's drunk? And 86% said no. And Amanda agreed. She's like, I never said he was hot drunk. And then we got who is hotter, Andrea or Craig? And 80% of people said Craig. And Amanda said that just shows you personality gets you far.
Yes, that is true.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, this was a good episode. I'm excited for the season finale.
Me too. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get a reunion.
Probably not, but I hope so.
We'll do an episode if there is one. I really want one.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.